I love using vintage items for my crafts, so today I'll be using two vintage items starting with these cookie cutters. I absolutely love the copper color of these cookie cutters and of course the classic aluminum, and this craft is incredibly simple and easy and anybody can do it. So to start off, I did hammer a hole into the top of each one just with a long nail and a hammer so that I can hang it and it will become an ornament. And even though I'm going to be decorating all of these, I'm definitely going to be doing the angel first. Step one is to add the string to the top of the ornament, so just a really simple knot and using any string that you have. The second step is going to be making a really simple wreath using these greenery stems that I always buy at Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to be twisting it around and just measuring the size to make sure it's not too big and not too little, and cutting off a little bit of excess because I'm actually not hot gluing this to the ornament at all. I'm going to be attaching it to the handle that's already on the front of the cookie cutter. So bending it back and just using some pliers but being careful not to scratch the metal, I'm just twisting it around and making a really nice tight tie to the handle itself. After I get it all nice and secure, I do give it a little bit of a tug just to make sure it's not going to slip down or come loose, because I do sell these at craft shows and I want to make sure that whoever buys it, it can last and last for years to come. Now I'm going to add a few little decorations. So I have this really nice vintage brown looking paper that you can get at any craft store in the scrapbooking section, and I'm just cutting a 1/2 inch strip. Now I've used these in a previous video, but these are just amazing little tools that are perfect for writing out any word that you want. And they're interlocking stamps of the alphabet. So because she's an angel, I'm going to be using the word peace. You just have to gently press the stamps onto your ink pad and then gently press it again onto the paper, just wiggling it back and forth a little bit to make sure it's a nice dark color. And for this one, the A did not show up very well, so I just gave it a second go around and the next one turned out to be just fine. So that's also what's great about these stamps. You can redo and redo as many times as you need to get it right. I wanted to leave a little bit of space on both ends because I'm going to make it look like a banner. So cutting off both sides, I also did a little tiny triangle on the ends just to give it a little bit of decoration, a little extra flair. I also wanted to add a bow to the top of the wreath, and just to finish off the craft, I hot glued the little banner to the bottom of the wreath, and this is the finished ornament. Now these are perfect for farmhouse ornaments or just for anybody who absolutely loves the vintage look. So they're really fast, really simple, and really beautiful. For the second vintage craft, I'm going to be using these vintage tart tins, and I've had these for quite a while. They usually come whenever I buy cookie cutters, so I've not really figured out what I want to do with them until now. And I'm going to start with this beautiful round one. I absolutely love it. I love how the light shines off of it, and I'm going to be making it, it could be actually an ornament or just a centerpiece that you sit somewhere. And again, I've just hammered a couple of holes on both sides of this one so that I can wrap a pipe cleaner from one side to the other. So that would be the hanger if you would choose to hang it. Or like I said, it can just sit really cute somewhere on a shelf. This actually, even though this is kind of small, it actually turned out to be a pretty large piece. So I decided to do silver because there's going to be a lot of silver, red, and white in this one. I think it turns out so cute in the end. So using my pliers, I just gently pull it through, and this is the little hanger I'm talking about. I made it nice and tall so I can add a lot of decorations, and so that everything can stick really easily, I'm going to add a very thin layer of craft foam to the bottom. Now this is probably optional, but I just feel like things stick better to foam rather than to metal itself. Hot glue and metal don't really like one another very much. So after gluing everything in and making it nice and secure, I started off with this really tall, sparkly white bottle brush tree. I absolutely love this tree, and it gives it some height and really makes it stand out. Now the second thing I'm going to be adding is this adorable little snowman. Now I actually added all these to a previous ornament in another video, but this one was a little rough, but I thought this one actually matches the vintage vibe, so that's why I thought even though it's not vintage, it kind of looks it with the rough scratches on its face. So rather than just throwing it away, I'm going to be using it as like my main item here for this little Christmas ornament or centerpiece. So hot gluing it right in the middle, I then wanted to hang some things from that pipe cleaner. I took this thin piece of wire and had these bows for the longest time, and it's actually quite large, but it looks really cute. It helps fill in that big empty gap right behind the snowman's head, and I just gently twist it around that pipe cleaner so it hangs. I love the idea of having things sitting and hanging, so I love this craft so much. I definitely think I'm going to be doing more of these in the future. Now these little silver ornaments are shatter-proof ornaments that you can get lots of places around Christmas time, and they're usually pretty inexpensive and come with multiple colors in the box. I just removed the top of the ornament to make them look like little sparkly round balls as different decorations to this piece. And if you don't like glitter, then this craft would not be for you because there's a bunch of really fun glitter in this as well. Now this pick I thought also matched the vintage theme, and I wanted some more height to the back and also to fill in a little bit more white to match that white tree. So this leaf stem was the perfect thing, and I'm going to be adding this as well right behind the snowman just to fill in that little gap between the snowman and the bow. It was a little bit too long, so I ended up trimming it up so it's the perfect size, and I'm going to be adding a few more extra white elements here and there as well. When I'm crafting, I really try not to waste any of my scraps. I have a huge box full of different greenery picks and colorful sparkly things. So rather than throwing these two little white leaves away, I glued them together and thought it would be another nice little thing to add behind these silver ornaments that I glued on earlier. By the way, that little red ball that's on top is not a ornament, it's actually just a little red berry. Now this red stem was also perfect. I wanted to cut up little tiny pieces just to add some more red here and there peeking out of some places. So I cut all these up and just add them in a few cute little areas peeking out here and there. I was really trying to not add anything green, but I needed some height behind all of it. And so I decided to go with this flocked greenery. The flocking helps make it not look so green, and it blends in with everything really nice and just gives it a nice backdrop. And the very last thing that I'm doing is adding a little bit of white snow. I really packed things in really well, so I didn't have to do this in too many spots, but I'm using my buffalo snow just to hide all of the green foam, using some scissors to poke it in really gently all the way around so it camouflages and hides all those little icky spots. And finally, this is the last finished product. I think it's super adorable. I absolutely love it. And what's also so cute about it is, like I mentioned earlier, that little pipe cleaner can be a hanger for a Christmas tree. You can definitely hang this up, or it has a nice flat base and you can sit it anywhere you want in your house. If you have a little nook or corner or a little shadow box, it's a perfect little piece for your home. If you love vintage items, if you love crafting all year long, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.